earth has had her visitation, like to this. She hath not known, save when the mounting waters made of her orb one universal ocean. For now the tree that grew in paradise, the deadly tree that first gave evil motion, and sent its poison through earth's sons and daughters, had struck again its root in every land, and now its fruit was ripe, about to fall, and now a mighty kingdom raised the hand to pluck and eat. Then from his throne stepped forth the king of hell, and stood upon the earth, but not as once upon the earth to crawl. A nation's congregated form he took, till, drunk with sin and blood, earth to her center shook. That was The French Revolution by Washington Allston. I've had some dreams recently, wherein the sensation of extreme familiarity has followed whatever I experienced in the dream. Parts of the dream, I think, can be described as disguised memories. A dream itself might be nothing more than a collage of disguised memories, like a masked ball. For example, there was this line in a Faulkner novel that I must have found very profound, because I dreamt it. The line goes, that no man deserves love, since nature did not equip us to bear it, but merely to endure and survive it. In the dream, I attributed this to an Italian poet, and I think I did this because the night before I was listening to some of Giovanni Battista Pergolesi's music, an Italian Baroque composer. After waking up from that dream, I was desperate to find out where I had first seen that line, or if perhaps I was the first to put it into words. After a while of searching and bethinking, I eventually remembered that I read it in one of Faulkner's novels, which then took me even longer to locate. But this experience goes to show my theory that dreams being nothing more than disguised memories, where we keep only the essential, the emotionally piquant, and we permit the details to be confabulated. I've actually gotten a lot of good ideas from my dreams. Good ideas for plots and stories, I mean. It makes me wonder what principle guides the contents of dreams. Which memories are included, I mean, because they disinter from the memory so many good ideas. Of course, some of my dreams are just memories of what most powerfully impacted me as of recent, and its emotional effect. For instance, when I was a child, I had seen footage from a zombie video game, probably one of the Left 4 Dead games. After this, I would have terrible nightmares where I was in a zombie apocalypse. I also saw some parts of the movie The Mist as a child, which was originally a short story by Stephen King, if I remember correctly. After that, many of my nightmares had some element of mist in them, but that was obviously inspired by the emotion of fear, while my good idea dreams are probably memories I associate with whatever emotion covers interest. You know, the trick to dreaming on command is to sleep for only a few hours, and then wake up by alarm, and then go back to sleep, because for whatever reason, it usually triggers a dream. I'll try to dream tonight, and tell the results from it tomorrow. Who knows the deeps, where the water sleeps, leagues from the light away? Who knows the heights, where myriad lights fill heaven with endless day? The earth goes on, seeks and loses the sun, and men in the changes delight. Love whirls us away into changeless day, or whelms us in changeless night. That was Reigns of Love by Francis William Bourdillon. I hold a high opinion regarding the film Ad Astra, directed by James Gray and starring Brad Pitt. It really is just a cool film. The main character, Roy McBride, for the first half of the film, is very calm and composed despite all the perilous situations he finds himself in. From the catastrophe on Earth's space antenna, with all the people dropping to their deaths around him, to the battle with pirates on the moon, to the confrontation with the laboratory primates, and his inadvertently deadly scuffle with his former crew members. After the space antenna scene, it's commented that Roy's heart rate was rumored to never go beyond 80, and in another scene, when all the crew members going to Mars are taking mood stabilizers, Roy accepts one to maintain appearances, but later doesn't take it and shoves it in his pocket. He also says in one scene that he's been trained to compartmentalize his emotions to keep himself ready for his missions. I felt it was all pretty impressive and inspiring. Of course, I understand that the point of the movie was about the opposite of that. The mission Roy's father goes on takes him the farthest from Earth and would foresee him abandoning his family and life on Earth to look for life on distant stars. To prevent any jeopardization of this mission, his father eventually kills everyone who has a change of heart. He then stays there alone, eager to continue his mission. Roy, too, was distant from other people at the start of the film, emotionally distant. You can see there's some conflict with his romantic love interest character, to whom it's implied he neglects. But on his journey to Neptune, he realizes that although he felt he enjoyed being alone more, he in fact didn't. That loneliness with space, with only himself in the small spaceship, wore on him. And there's that confrontation with his insane father who abjures all social aspects of Earth, like family and relationship, and later kills himself because he failed in his mission to find life out in space. But like Roy says, now that they know that there's only life on Earth, that we're all we have, they have to return. Roy and his father are similar. Too similar. Roy sees that too. He understands that they're the same in abrogating their social obligations to escape into space, to escape into the far reaches. The most interesting part of the film is when his father cuts his tether and blasts off into space, while Roy instead tries to get back home. It's symbolic of him abandoning that part of himself that his father and him share, that causes him to want to reach beyond the physical limits of travel and escape Earth and humanity, and his own limits. The movie ends with him meeting his wife/girlfriend. Again, the ending is really contrary to what I liked about the film, but this didn't make it any less enjoyable. The term Ad Astra means to the stars, and the film is about a struggle between man's desire to transcend, to reach new and far and distant places. But the struggle of transcendence soon becomes not one of one's personal limits, but a choice between a cold, uncaring universe of immense magnitude, an indifferent void, or to choose one's humanity and return home, and return to everything human. I really wish there were more films like Ad Astra.